I lost the little microphone cover thing, so if that changes sound quality, I apologize. I don't know where it went. Hi, how we feeling out there tonight? I am not feeling good.
How we feeling out there tonight? Yeah, I am not feeling good.
Yeah, it's February, the end of February. Thank God. I am actively just crawling my way through this winter. It's not been a ton of fun, not having a good time. Thank you for asking. Beside the point, I do have quite a few things to share with you today. I haven't done this in like a month. I apologize for that, but really do be that way sometimes. That's all I can say about that. So we're going to go through standard issue, knitting podcast style, finished objects, whips, acquisitions, wrapping up thoughts and feelings. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, obviously, finished object. We have my storm sweater. Everybody clap, please. Thank you. This is my storm sweater from Petite Knit Obvi. I'm not sure what kind of angle you are getting here, and also what the back of my hair looks like is simply none of my business. I feel like this one took me a lot longer than I was expecting. I cast this on towards the end of November, I think, and with the intention of this being like sort of a Christmas sweater. I don't know, we're not really a Christmas sweater family. It was just like a goal I had to finish it by Christmas. I finished it right before Valentine's Day, so I did not meet that goal, obviously, by quite a stretch there. But in my defense, I have been doing grad school applications, so I've been a wee bit busy. It's also garden planning season. Was meaning to ask you guys about this. Can Maddie have a little bit of gardening content as a treat? Just putting it out there. I really don't want to make a second channel. To be so for real with you, I just don't want to have to go through the monetization process again. It took a while on this channel, and like I just don't have it in me to do that again. I don't know. I've been going back and forth on it because I feel like this is obviously a knitting channel, but also, you know what? I don't want to box myself in, okay? I am a multifaceted person who has many hobbies. I don't know. Well, we're still debating. If you have any pressing thoughts and feelings about my integrating some gardening content here and there, let me know in the comments. I promise it would be a fun time, just a little bit different from what we normally do. How did I get there? Oh, right. Okay, I'm busy. Yeah, just been busy and just working as much as I can before I lose my job. I really am very happy with how this turned out. Would I knit it again in this color? No. To be so honest, I think I would have liked just a basic gray or something, which is not something I normally say. That is very out of character for me. I don't dislike the orangey red at all by any means. I do like it quite a bit, but just for the amount of time that I put into this sweater, I do think now that it's all said and done, I would have preferred to have something that's a little bit more versatile, which is a really unfortunate realization to have after you sink 3 months into a sweater. And like, again, don't get me wrong, I am very happy with this. I do wear it as much as I possibly can, but I feel like the amount of ways I can wear it are a bit limited by the color. I don't know. I have an interesting relationship with this sweater. I am very happy with the fit. I made a size medium. I'm usually a size small in Petite Knit, but I sized up to a medium for this because I wanted it to be a little bit more oversized, and I think it fits the bill. I think it's like perfectly oversized on me, which I love. I actually did the tubular bind off, guys. Are we proud of me or what? Because every time I've ever encountered a tubular bind off, I just ignore it and pretend like I am Jared, 19, and never learned how to read.
What up? I'm Jared, I'm 19, and I never fucking learned how to read.
I actually did it. I did all of the tubular bind off on all of the hem stitches, which was like, I don't even know, over 300 stitches, I think, that I tubular bound off. That took years off my life. Oh my god. And like, to be so honest, I feel like I really can't see that much of a difference with the tubular bind off versus a regular. I usually do a Jenny's super stretchy cast off just because I don't like it when things are too tight in the hem. I really can't tell that much of a difference. Like, it's nice. I feel like I see the difference more on the cuff, on the sleeve cuff, than I do on the hem, if that makes sense. And that could just be like a skill issue, which it probably is. I also made a little mistake in the ribbing here, but I left it in because I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious, and they say to leave one mistake in your projects so that your soul can escape. I think it's like a, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's like an Irish folklore thing. They say like when you knit something, you put part of your soul into it, and then if you leave a mistake in it, lets your soul escape. I don't know. I like folklore, so I left it, and that's how I'm justifying being lazy. I knit it in Sandisgarn Pure Gint in the color Spicy Orange, which I picked up when I was in Denmark. I got like a good 15 balls out of stash. Oh, I did have to go buy one more ball at the Tea Cozy here in Seattle, which I was a little bit worried about, but I feel like you can't tell a dye lot difference at all, which I think I got really lucky with, because that I think would have been my final straw. I'm already so, dare I say, hanging on by a thread, but like, and if that had happened on this sweater that has taken me so long, I think I would have been inconsolable for quite some time. But luckily, happy to report, can't tell a difference. Yay for my sanity. That's great. I'm really happy with it. It's super warm. I think the details on this are so nice, and the folded over collar. I love a folded collar. Storm sweater. We all know her. We love her. I recommend. That's my only true finished object, but I have a half a finished object. Oh shit, what did I drop? Pick that up later. I have one wee little vanilla sock right here. This is just a classic vanilla sock with a slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset standard issue toe. I'm knitting this in the Scranton Stitchers classic sock. The main color is Northern Attitude, and then the contrast was one of her Stevie Nicks colors, or like Fleetwood Mac colorways. I don't remember what this one was called, but I just got a mini skein of this and a full skein of the Northern Attitude, which I grabbed at Flock. Here is my progress on the second sock. Super a lot to report here. My way to combat second sock syndrome is to immediately cast on the second sock and just get a little bit done so you feel like you have something to work with here. It's worked for me. That's my game plan. So I finished this one up yesterday and then immediately cast on a little bit of the ribbing. Got a little bit of that done, but this has been primarily what I've been working on at work when the baby is napping. So that's been nice. I feel like this sock took me about a month of sporadic knitting during nap time in between grad school applications and existential crises. So that's lovely. Can't wait to finish this one up. I'm recording this on a Sunday and it is my last week of work. So I cannot talk about it or I will cry. And that is all we will say about that. That is my half a finished object. Now we are into whips. So we're going to start with the whip I think I'm going to be putting on ice for a while and will probably end up frogging. And that is my California sweater. Sorry, I did a mid-project block on this, so I have my yarn in a Ziploc. That's really classy. I finished one sleeve and I was really looking at it and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna love the fit on this. I didn't even finish the sleeve. I got most of the way done with the sleeve right before the cuff. Just wanted to see how it was fitting. I feel like the sleeve is very tapered in a way I am not particularly a fan of, and also I felt like the neckline was a little bit droopy and the pickup on the sleeve did not look too hot, which I think is a yarn issue more so than a pattern issue, but I just didn't really like how this was looking, so I gave it a block to see how I would feel after that, and I tried it on and I just don't like it. Sorry if the angle just changed, I bumped my cord. I need to get a cordless mic so bad. But yeah, I really wasn't happy with the fit. It's too small, first of all. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, do I really like this gauge? I'm giving this one a rest for a while, and I think maybe I'll check back in a few months and see if I like the fit a little bit more or if I just need to call it. But for now, I'm taking a break. I do still really like this yarn combination. I think it is very beautiful. Again, this isn't one that picks up well on camera, so you're gonna have to trust me, but I'm just not happy with how it's fitting my body. I'm an oversized girly. It's who I am, and I could have gone up a size. I think I was worried about not having enough of the Ocean Knits colorway that I was using, but I mean, now that I've finished most of a sleeve, I definitely had room to go up a size, or even two, so that's a consideration. I also could frog back and just do a bigger size, but you know how it is when you get this far on something and then it's like not working out how you want it. I can't deal with this right now, mentally, spiritually, physically. So she's on ice and the yarn is gonna stay in its super cute little Ziploc, and I'm gonna just think on this one for a while. So that's our one that's not going so hot. Oh, we also have my Muscle Burrow, which I'm also putting on ice for the same exact reason. Somebody in my last video was like, hey queen, have you tried that on? Because it looks a little bit very big. And I felt like it was turning out pretty big, but I had talked to a friend of mine that's made a bunch of Muscle Burrows, and I was like, it's a little big. Do we think it's gonna like zoop up a little bit, or what's the vibe here? And they were very much so in the camp of it will fit. And then I read that comment and I was like, you know, I will try it on and I'm gonna face this in a real way. And I do think it is just gonna be too big. So I can put it in the dryer for a few minutes and gamble with that. It's not something I can deal with right now. So that's just been sitting in my work bag. So I can't deal with that. Can't do it. On a brighter note, better news here. I have my cardigan number 9, I think. I don't know, guys. I hate the number system. We've been over this many times. This is my cardigan number 8 or 9 or whatever from My Favorite Things Knitwear. I just joined in the round yesterday and got a little bit of the body going. It's coming along nicely. I'm really liking how this is turning out so far. I don't love saddle shoulder as a construction, at least in this iteration of it, because you do some short rows right here, and I feel like my short rows are a little bit lumpy, which again, skill issue. It just felt a little bit intense to do the yoke, and usually I love doing yokes, and so I was like, why am I not having fun? But I think it was just because it was a lot of short rows to keep track of, and increases and decreases and pickup rates, all that jazz. But I do think I will like how this fits me when it is all said and done. So this is also the size medium, and I am knitting this in, this is Simply Natural by Haiku, 40% baby alpaca, 40% fine merino wool, and 20% mulberry silk. I got a sweater quantities of this slate gray color, and I am holding that with the classic, the love of my life, Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair, and this is in the color Thundercloud. I had a bit of a saga with this as well, because what do I not have a saga with? When I was in Denmark, I bought from Knitting for Olive, the store, which was magical, but I bought enough of a color I thought would go with this. For some reason, I bought a sweater quantities of dark moose, which is very much so like a brown. I honestly think I was high on endorphins when I was at Knitting for Olive or something. I was definitely high on life, but I was not thinking clearly when I was at Knitting for Olive. And so I got home and I was like, these are simply just not even the same color at all. So I went to La Mercerie and I picked up Thundercloud because this is just like a perfect match. I really like how it's working up. The fabric is lovely. Very soft, very warm. I think the gauge looks really good. I was a little bit off gauge. I decided to just send it and deal with the consequences later. So I'm sure that'll be an adventure. I feel like it doesn't look too big though, because again, I wanted this to be kind of oversized. I think it'll be okay. I was only like 1 stitch. No, I was 1.5 and 1 stitches off horizontally and vertically. So it was pretty close. I just didn't, I am nothing if not afflicted by the consequences of my own actions. So can't wait to see how that turns out. But it is looking okay so far. I'm hopeful. I feel like you can't really tell the shaping very well because it's stockinette and it's curling. I think it's cute. I think it's fun. And I'm gonna do toggle buttons. I bought some toggle buttons when I was in Amsterdam from a button store that's conveniently directly next to Stephen and Penelope. So I recommend that as well. Next up, I do have some acquisitions. I went to Bainbridge Island with my mom at the end of January, and we kind of notoriously get into some trouble there. So I bought a few skeins with my mom. I'll go through these ones first. These are all Jupiter Moon Farms Moonshine, and this is 40% alpaca, 40% wool, and 20% silk. And it is a beautiful yarn. I've never tried anything from Jupiter Moon. I said Jupiter Moon, didn't I? It's Juniper Moon. I've never tried anything from Juniper Moon before, but I saw these at a little yarn store outside of Bainbridge in a town called Paulsbo, and they were in a line like this, and I just loved these colors together. So I bought all of them with intention of using them for a colorwork yoke sweater at some point, potentially even a colorwork yoke cardigan if I feel brave. I grabbed the colors, do they have color names? Yes, Mist, which is a really pretty icy blue, Jasper, which is kind of like a spicy orange color, a la this. This one's my favorite, I think. This is Honeydew. I love Honeydew. And this one is Blush. Cute little pinky, cool tone pink. So my plan is to use those for the colorwork yoke and then have the body of the sweater be a brown. I didn't love the brown they had in this yarn. It was a very dark brown, like almost black. I wanted more of a true brown for the vision I had constructed in my mind. So we'll see about that. I don't know when that will be happening. At some point, eventually, I'm sure. But I also went to La Mercerie to get the Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair for my cardigan. And while I was there, I picked up this sock set. This is from Little Wolf Knits, and it is the colorway Matcha Macaroons. I'm pretty sure this was for La Mercerie's Year of Socks last year. They do a different sock set every month throughout the year. I've had my eye on this one since it came out. I just hadn't bought it, and I went with my mom and I was like, if they have Matcha Macaroons, I will buy it this time because I regret not buying it and I'm worried it's gonna be gone forever. And sure enough, they still had a couple skeins, and so I picked up this sock set, which I'm very excited to use. I don't know why I'm so drawn to this. It's also probably not picking up the best on camera, but I just think it's beautiful. I'm gonna try to knit more socks this year because I do really enjoy having hand knit socks. And I enjoy making them as well. It's like a nice mix of mindlessness, and then also you have the technical bits that are fun for me. So I'm gonna try to do more socks this year. That's what that intention was. Okay, next up, I have a bit of a social blunder to share as well in regards to the knitting community. So, a yarn store in the Greenwood neighborhood of Seattle was closing. Fiber Gallery was going out of business, so they had a going out of business sale to get rid of some inventory. I went to that sale with my friend June, and when June and I are together, I feel like my brain just shuts off because I'm just having so much fun. We're just always in such a silly, goofy mood, and that day was no exception. So there we are in the Fiber Gallery being goofy goobers as we do, and in walks Anna of APT Atelier, and I recognize her obviously because Queen, and she walks over to where we are. She has her baby with her, super cute, and I looked at her. I was trying to say hello. I looked at her and I just panicked because first of all, I know everybody by username in the knitting community. Like, I rarely know people's actual names. I know their usernames. And so I was going to say, oh, hey, you're APT Atelier. In that split second before I could say it, I couldn't remember if it was APT Atelier or ATP Atelier. And I was like, one of those is a biology term and one of those is the username. And I was like, it was like that scene in The Hangover with the math. And what came out of my mouth was, hey, you're YouTube. Hey, you're YouTube. And she looked at me and she was like, I'm Anna? And there was like no way I could explain that to her in the moment. I couldn't be like, oh my god, biology. And so I was just like, I'm so sorry. Hey. So Anna, if you're watching this, which honestly I hope you're not, hey Queen, super sorry that was awkward, and I hope you found some cool stuff at the sale. It was just so on brand for me. I was like, that is a thing I would do to somebody I respect in the community. So yeah, anyway, yarn. I did buy a few things at the sale, so let's get into that. First up, I bought 4 plates of Wool Dreamers, and this is their unspun yarn. I got the color, does it have a color name? Got the gray color, lighter gray. I really couldn't pick what color I wanted, so I went with this one, even though like I famously have been on record saying I don't really like gray. No comment on that. I got 4 plates of this, and I plan on using these to make the Miles shirt jacket by Ozetta. That's been on my dream knitting list for quite some time. So I'd like to do that next fall, and I have also been wanting to work with unspun yarn for a while. Felt like a good opportunity. I think it was only like 15% off, but my logic is 15% is better than no percents. So bought my quantity I need, and It's very warm, like even just holding it in my hands like this, my hands are incredibly warm right now. I'm excited to work this up. I'm gonna have to watch some videos about how to work with this because I know it's different from regular yarn because it's super, like it just breaks really easily. I don't really know how that plays out when you're knitting it, but I'm excited to find out. So that was my first purchase. Let me set this somewhere. Oh, I forgot about this. I've just left this bag for a few weeks because I've been wanting to film this. Forgot about this. I also got 4 skeins of this, what are you called? Elemental Effects Coastal, which is 50% wool, 25% silk, and 25% flax. And it's in this color, I think it was called Sweet Tea. June and I had a very intense debate as to if this makes me look like a corpse. So if you have any thoughts to weigh in on the corpse debate, please do let me know if this makes me look dead. I couldn't decide, and there was no mirror in there, but it was the only not sweater quantity, it was the only like tank top quantity they had left. I've never used flax before. I don't know, that seemed fun and fresh and new. It seemed like a really nice summer yarn, so I wanted to pick it up, risking corpsiness. My plan initially was just another June top. I think part of that was because I was with June and my brain is but a simple vessel. So I don't know if that's actually what I'm going to use this for, but I do intend on using this for a summer garment. This was a nice find, and this was like 50% off. Like this was quite significantly discounted. And then the last little acquisition I got were 2 skeins of sock yarn. This is West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply, and this is a 75% wool, 25% nylon blend. So I got this nice little Kelly green and this little periwinkle that they're calling cornflower, but I'm calling it periwinkle. I thought they would be cute together for some like colorwork sock or separately. I don't know what I'll end up doing with these, but these are big ass balls of sock yarn. Like that's feels like a lot of yarn in this. It's 437 yards for 100 grams. That is quite a lot. Slay. These were also very heavily discounted, and I kind of wish I would have bought more colors because they did have a few more that I liked. Should have bought more. Contains 35% blue-faced Leicester? Blue-faced Leicester. That's some sort of wool. I know that. Is that a good thing? I feel like that's a good thing if they're putting it right there. Score, I guess. So that's everything I got at the Fiber Gallery closing sale. Pour one out for them. I am very sad that they are no longer going to be in business. I hope somebody picks up the store and keeps it going in some way, but I do appreciate them doing a closing sale like that. It's a nice way for us to help them clear out some inventory and also for them to help us acquire some yarn at a discount. So thank you guys, and I wish you all well at the Fiber Gallery. Sorry if the angle changed a little bit. I was just packing up my yarn and I realized I buried under a pile of yarn the most exciting acquisition I had to talk about today, which was awful silly of me. So I have in here something very exciting. This is a set of stitch markers from Mabel and Jess Knits. This is the lucky set. So every charm is a little good luck charm. So there's 4-leaf clover, wishbone, horseshoe, and a bunny. And I am obsessed with these. My friend Jess runs this stitch marker brand. So I've actually never had fancy stitch markers like this before. So I was very excited when Jess reached out and asked if they could send me a couple of stitch markers. And I am so happy that they did because it's such a beautiful packaging experience, first of all. Second of all, these are incredibly high quality. I know Jess hand makes these. I'm sure Mabel also is incredibly integral to the operation. But I am just obsessed with these and I can't wait to start using these in projects. I was waiting until I could show you guys. Oh shit. So I'm very excited to finally get to start using these. And thank you, Jess and Mabel, for sending me some stitch markers. And I hope to see you next time I am in Portland. Thank you so much again. These are incredibly lovely. Highly recommend. Mabel and Jess will be linked in the description so you can check out all of their beautiful stitch markers and notions. Those are all my acquisitions. I don't know, I think that's all I really had to share with you today. As I mentioned, I am going to be focusing a lot more on YouTube in the coming months. That is my intent, is to really lock in and see what I can do here. So please do subscribe, like, follow, notification bell, whatever the hell I'm supposed to say here. I appreciate you being here and following along thus far as I've been working with this through a lot of tumultuous times in my life, to be honest. You guys have been with me through a lot of change, and I appreciate that. So I'm hoping in these next few months I can really just lock in and focus on you guys, and hopefully we can have fun with that. And do let me know about the gardening stuff, though. I would like to hear your opinions on that. And I think that's everything I have to say. If not, I will be back soon. So, all right, gang. Super sorry I did that. That's not a good. Okay, bye.